we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newly Forged. Thanks for joining us tonight. Much appreciated. Um, Matt, who plays Spoot, will be along in a bit, and we're having some technical difficulties with Tanner's webcam. Hello, Ives got it. Have a nice Pika wave back at you there, buddy. So, as you all know, Sarah has had to step back for the next couple of months due to real life stuff. So once we get her back, we will figure out how Olive will rejoin the group. And in the meantime, we have this fancy new layout with our friends here in larger areas around me. But yeah, so let's get right into intros. Let's start off with our friend Mike up in the corner here. Mike, why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and I would like to know what your character's favorite type of wood is. Favorite type of wood.
Didn't we have this question
Did we?
before?
Oh, we did. You're right. Then scratch
Yeah.
that.
Wood or tree?
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
that. We had tree. So in that case, scratch that, and instead tell us what your character's favorite type of metal is. Since we don't have a druid to get all, oh, it's metal.
Ooh. My name is Mike. I play Defect, the Warforged Barbarian. I'm not well versed in the world of metals, but I feel like my favorite would be adamantium. Does that count? Can we use that?
No, that does not count.
Mhm.
That is a
Vibranium?
that
What about vibranium? Can we use that one?
no, those are Marvel metals, you twit, and you know it.
Only do I know. I mean, I guess there's like.
We are in a fantasy game. You never
You are.
know.
All right.
Probably the closest to those would be adamantine, which I would allow you to use as your favorite.
Thank you. I'll take that.
All right. Moving on down to the ever irrepressible Amber.
I'm irrepressible? I think that's a compliment.
I think it's a compliment. I really do, but now I'm not sure because you questioned me.
No, I've never been called irrepressible, so I'll take it. Hello, I'm Amber, and I play Greg the Goblin Artificer. And, I have to say that bronze is really useful for a lot of different things, but there's something about iron that's just really great because it's pure and it's hard and it's really, really rusty, but it still works even though it's rusty.
It gives you poison damage.
Iron does?
The rust.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, the
if
rust
you're
could do
made
that.
of metal.
No, one of my friends caught this thing called tetanus once.
Well, yes.
I don't know what that is.
There is definitely that possibility as well.
Wait a minute, Defect, do you rust?
Oh.
The truth comes out at last. His archenemy, salinated water.
The word salinated. Oh my god, so good.
Gross.
Oh, what? I have a vocabulary. I watch Jeopardy. I know things.
I'm approving. I love that you just used the word salinated.
Oh, well, okay then. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I think it actually was on a Jeopardy episode I watched tonight. But regardless of that, let's.
No, literally, you watched Jeopardy, therefore you know that word.
Well, I knew it beforehand because I knew what the answer to the question was, or what the question to the answer is. However, it works on Jeopardy. Moving on next to Tanner.
I am Tanner. I'm playing Adis the Human Ranger. Favorite metal? I would have to say Damascus steel.
Ooh, good one.
It's so pretty.
It is. That is a well-reasoned answer, I think. So I will allow you to
Tanner's
keep it.
personal favorite. So
yeah, totally.
I may or may not have a couple of daggers made of Damascus.
Ooh, nice.
That's some fancy shit, yo.
I just can't wait for the Ren Fair blacksmith, because catch me over there.
Yeah.
Coming back to New York in the subway with a great sword.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ren Fair, New York Ren Fair is back on this year, so that's pretty great.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
But as I said, Matt, who plays Spoot, will be along in a little while. So until he returns, we will have to dive right in. I am Jared. I'm your dungeon master here, and I am looking forward to seeing what goes on today on Nuuli Forged. Last time on Nuuli Forged, our heroes spent 2 weeks in Fay Harbor, having some time for themselves. Adis and Kaelin rekindled their relationship and marriage, and Kaelin began training Adis in a special Lycosian trick shot. That's going to take some time to work on, but so far Adis has been adapting to it very well. The two of them also went to the Temple of Melora on the coast of Broken Lake and met with Wave Watcher Tal, who had foreseen Adis's coming. Using information gathered from the Wave Watcher's visions and folklore, Adis found some more tidbits and clues in the Library of Three that might lead him towards possible locations for his long-lost tribe members. Spoot and Olive went about crafting potions with Grig watching along, and Defect waded in to the newly formed fisticuffs rings of Fay Harbor. However, where Spoot and his helpers found success, Defect found none, which inspired him to begin to learn from one of his opponents who had defeated him in battle. Sadly, Olive felt the need to return to Southbrook and check in with things there, and so with a heavy heart she departed from her friends and left Fay Harbor. A few days afterwards, the party was summoned by Commodore Polivan Deepcatch, the third chair of the city of Fay Harbor, and he employed them to take care of some giant octopuses who were harassing his ships somewhere out at a fruitful fishing location. And so now we find our heroes aboard his sailing ship, the Prevailer, under the command of Captain Orna Windalong, sailing towards the mysterious, hidden, Deep Ruin Run, and whatever adventures may await there. So, as you are all on the Prevailer, you can feel the winds kind of blowing to the west, kind of pushing you along with the ship. Adis, you are up in the mast, checking things out with Blimey, taking note of things that he's pointing out to you. What are Defect and Grig up to? Fay Harbor has faded from view, and you can see as you pass by close now to these rock formations that they do actually appear to be the tops of mountain peaks that have been toppled over or maybe landed on the wrong side, because you can see that there's like at least one side of each of them is broken and cragged and like utterly it shows the wear and tear you would imagine of like breaking a rock or a boulder or something like that. So Grig and Defect, what are you two up to on this ship?
Have we ever been on a boat before?
I would say that
ask the same question.
I would say that Defect does not remember whether or not he's been on a boat, so you are unsure. Grig,
Okay.
I will leave it to your choice. Winton was a port city. Do you think you would have hopped onto a ship for any reason at any point in time?
I don't think so. I think that I have seen ships, but I've never gone on them. I'm imagining running around the docks doing questionable things, maybe. But never on one. So I'm probably watching whoever is doing the most work, like whoever's maybe steering and not tying and like interacting with this. You know, if there's how to going on, I'm gonna watch that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And Defect is going to run from one side of the ship to the other, just like look down, like see how the waves are crashing against the side of the ship. Maybe testing out his sea legs, making sure he can stand and whatnot.
If you pull a Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah,
I
so
need to see if I'm sick too.
Yeah, everybody can go ahead and well, you did some solid con saves
That was me.
last episode.
I was the one that
Everybody
did the
did it.
con save.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you
That's
did.
true.
Everybody else also did one though, and you were all handling it pretty well. And actually, uh, the lake, you notice that the waves are not particularly too large. Whether that's due to weather or just geography, you have no idea. Um, but defect, as you are looking down at the water, you can see how it like splits open and kind of folds away beneath the keel of this
Mhm.
ship, and you kind of get lost in that for a while. Um, and it doesn't take you long. The ship is not that wide. It's probably like 20 feet from rail to rail. So you can easily like check it out on either side. No problem. Greg, you definitely notice who is steering the ship. It is Captain Orna, Captain Windalong. She is back there shouting orders, calling out for Mr. Kumquat to do various little things. Or Mr. Shorewatcher, I guess, would be what she says. But he goes by Kumquat as well, because that's his first name. But yeah, you see Adis up in the top, in the crow's nest. There are people securing rigging of various types of rope. There are people who are kind of like it looks like they're maintaining or performing some kind of maintenance on the two weapons that are on the ship. There's the big catapulty thing in the middle of the main deck, and then on the forecastle up by the bow of the ship,
I
there's
forgot about
the
those.
big giant crossbow.
I'm gonna be watching that. I
Oh.
like the weapons.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Can you artifice one of those, please? Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, right? Uh, yeah, I think Grig is looking for like, how does this all actually work? Because Grig never gave a damn before. But now, like, I'm on a ship. All right, how does this work? If this shoots, why don't we go backward or forward? Or how does is this anchored here, or could it be moved? Or also, like, is there a pulley that I could like pull on and what would it do? Just like, oh, ships have stuff on them?
You know what? Go ahead, make an investigation check for me, Greg. See how much you
Yeah.
get into this, or potentially how much trouble.
19.
All right, great, cool. With a 19, you're poking around, figuring stuff, and you definitely kind of figure out the basics. Like, oh, if I pull this line, that sail will raise or fall. That's how that block and tackle over there works. You figure out how the 4 rowboats that are on the ship work out. Oh, it looks like we have a Matt getting ready to join us here, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
No problem at all.
I was learning about boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I have
there
no
we go.
nothing to say about boats, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we were just talking about everybody being on a boat
My favorite song by that band.
by that band. Very cool. Yeah. So Greg, you are investigating all this stuff, and you figure out the basics, and some of the individual sailors like are willing to answer questions and begin a conversation with you about like how the ship actually works. So that's fun and exciting.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. Spoot. You are also on this ship, the Prevailer. So what do you think Spoot is doing with all this fantastic shippiness?
Sorry for the AC. I'm going to try to talk quickly.
Oh, it's okay.
Spoot, I don't know if Spoot's ever been on a boat this size before, so he's probably taking it all in and maybe like studying parts, making notes, maybe sketching a bit in his journal, kind of walking the boat over up to stern to bow.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Why don't you go ahead? Just make either an investigation or perception check of your choice. An 18. Okay.
That was actually it's a 15 because the 18 was the second roll. I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, I only see the 18.
Mhm.
Okay, so it was a 15, is what you're saying?
Yeah, according to my roll, it was a 15.
Okay. Well,
Weird.
it's still fine. You have absolutely no problem making sketches of the work, and you can see that people are, or the hands are definitely like willing to talk. You see Greg over there on one side, kind of futzing with a few things and talking to some of the deckhands. So you can also ask questions if you want, but you're able to draw sketches of, you know, most of, well, pretty much anything you might want to, really. You see Greg is over closer to the few deck weapons that are on board. The big, seems like they're over by the big catapult at the moment, learning about what that is.
I might find my way over there to Greg and see what they're on about. I think Spoot is always sort of impressed with Greg's, like yearning for knowledge. So I think anytime I can experience them like soaking something in, I get some enjoyment out of it.
What's that? How do you do this? So does it take three of you to crank it? Is that how it works? Or do you push this button? Or hey, wait, have you ever attached a rope to it and then you like launch it really far and then you like use the rope to climb it? Or do you pull something in? Do you hunt with this? What do you do? Oh, hey, have you ever tried launching somebody with it, like a person, and then see how far they go?
This half elf just starts laughing at you, and he's just like, well, little goblin, you see how this thing works here is we put a bunch of heavy rocks or cannon or whatever right in that little scoop that looks like a big spoon. Then we crank it back with these here shafts, and a couple people push it around to kind of get it roughly where we want it to go, and then we release with this lever here, which undoes the winches and the gears, and it sends the payload flying through the air to hopefully the right spot. It takes a bit of training to learn how to actually get it all worked out well, but once you know, it's very damaging when some of these rocks and whatnot hit an enemy vessel. Although not that we've had too much of that, to be honest. So it's not really worth much of hunting.
Feeding big things. Have you ever encountered something really big, and in order to keep it distracted from you, you've ever launched a whole bunch of food? Also, how do you feel about explosives on the ship? I feel like that would be a really bad idea, but I guess if you have lots of practice. Also, how often do you practice? Because wouldn't that be wasteful of a bunch of stuff and or disturb something that you don't want to have blow up? Also, do you just pull rocks out of the ocean, or do you have to buy them from a quarry? Also...
whoa. No, yes, no.
Oh, okay.
He answers like all your questions. He tells you that they have regular training when they have like at least monthly training exercises, and to make sure that the entire crew knows how to operate it in a pinch. These four are just the ones that are on duty right now. So yeah.
That poor soul.
Yeah, he's kind of regretting his willingness to answer your questions at this point in time.
I have a feeling that Greg is gonna like climb up into it and like sit in the spoon to see what it looks like and feels like, and assuming any of that is allowed.
Well, right now it's kind of vertical because it's not like they don't keep it like ready and loaded. It's in a resting position, so it's just like whoop. So it's just kind of straight up at the moment. But he
just gets annoyed with Greg.
Greg
climbs in the spoon. He gets annoyed with Greg, and then he just kicks it and walks away, and it launches.
Greg is seriously entertaining. Like, I wonder how far a person would go.
He says, I don't know, but I imagine it would have to do with how big they are and the weight and and the tension in the lines, I suppose.
Ah, I'm gonna like start drawing some diagrams.
Okay, you start. You start theorizing over in the corner there.
Yeah, yeah. How do I make a small one? Got my little cannon. What if I made a small one of these? Would it be useful, or does it have to be big?
Who
All that.
knows? Cool. So, the day goes by pretty uneventfully. Passing through, you can tell by the way that the ship moves that you are not taking a direct course to your location for whatever reason, or to your destination rather. So you are just kind of floating around, bopping along, without too much difficulty. And,
Trap.
I'm sorry.
It's a trap.
You can make a perception check, Adis, since you are in the top with old Core Blimey, as it were. If you would like to see if you can suss out anything.
Not very sus.
Cool. With a 13, you see all these like land masses that are popping up. You notice that they're all like big rocky things. You do see that on some of them, trees that are lining them look like they were like knocked over onto their side and then started growing up again much later. Older trees, not so much, but newer, younger trees and bushes seem to kind of like pull like a 90-degree bend. It leads you to believe that the entire like sides of these shattered peaks kind of did a 90-degree flip at one point in time somehow.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very, very well. Cool. So the days go by pretty uneventfully. The lake is not a hotbed of like piratical activity, so you don't even know why this ship is around, but there's got to be a reason. As you continue on, you start pulling a little bit east or a little bit north and kind of northwest, and you sail around a particular broken peak on the second day. And as you start taking, the captain calls for Mr. Shorewatcher to take the wheel and asks for you all to join her in her cabin again. Assuming you all go, you are shown in.
Yep.
And she's like, all right, well, we are a few hours away from our designated location, or our designated, well, destination. Anyway, my question to you is, do you have a plan of what you're going to be doing? Do you want to stay on the ship? Do you want to be dropped into rowboats? What plans have you come up with in your efforts to hunt these things down?
Well, pretty sure the plan was if we came out here, one might show up and then we would kill it.
I thought you would bring us to them.
Oh no, we are. We're bringing you to the appropriate area. But I'm asking what your plan is in terms of how you're going to fight them.
Well, if it's attacking big ships, I highly doubt a rowboat is a safe option to stand on.
That's fair.
Hold a fireball and my tip of my hammer. With this?
So you're just going to stay on the ship and launch stuff at it. Okay.
Yeah, unless there's like a mountaintop that's like enough out of the water and maybe like we could like sneak around. But it seems like the best idea is probably to get on the ship and then like if we get really screwed, then maybe we jump in those rowboats. I assume that's what they're for.
I mean, they're for ferrying things back and forth as needed, cargo, personnel, sort of whatever we need, really. But
Sure.
But I have no problem. I just want you to know that we have 4 rowboats if you want to make use of them for your endeavors.
I feel like the ship would be far sturdier ground unless we can convince it to attack us on, like a little outcrop of rock.
Ah, well, then perhaps I should describe the terrain to you. So, Deep Ruin Run is a almost perfectly round cove, sort of hidden away behind some hidden away behind some cliff edges that sort of interlap and are covered with vines and whatnot. So once we sail through this small sort of camouflage channel, it'll be a deep open pool and bay with deep waters all the way down. There are some ruins sort of up on the wall, sort of 90 degrees. There have been reports of winged figures being sighted by the ruins or in the general vicinity, so we haven't ever approached too close to shore. We've kept our distance, not wanting any sort of aerial issues to arise. What else? It's just deep blue waters as far as I know. And from the reports of the fishing captains, it seems that they were just in the middle of the bay, kind of keeping a respectful distance, doing their normal trawling and fishing, and these things came up and started smashing at the side of the hull, and they had to make way fairly quickly.
Oh, these winged figures.
Aye.
Are they like people with wings? Are they giant birds? Are
The
they
reports were
mysterious
not...
mythical things or are they real?
We don't know. We just saw flying things with wings, and we've never fully investigated. They've been content enough to leave us be, and we've decided to do the same.
Did they change their mind and set a giant octopus after you?
I suppose. I've never seen one of the things up close. I've only been to the cove once or twice myself.
Boot, do you know of anything that has giant wings and controls octopuses?
Spoot looks a tiny bit skeptical, but does Spoot have any knowledge of winged creatures that live over vast volumes of water?
Make a nature check, Spoot.
Nope.
With a 9? No. I mean, birds like to live on like watery shores, but that's the best you got.
I don't think I am quite aware of what strange animals may inhabit this lake. Spook will direct their attention to the captain and say, "Are you prepared? Are you and your crew prepared that if you are under attack, to stay and let us try to see if we can fend off these creatures? And are they quite capable of using the sort of weaponry I saw at the top of the ship?"
My crew is very well trained in their work, including the use of our onboard weapons, so no need to worry about that. However, these weapons are designed more for dealing with other ships than small, agile creatures. The mangonel, for example, cannot attack anything that is too close to the ship, and the ballista, if something is extremely nimble, may not be able to make its mark.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm hoping that maybe if we can just stand our ground without fear of sinking, that perhaps that we can do the rest. However, I think we should trust you to make the final call on when we have to pull out of harm's way.
Well, the Commodore has instructed myself and my crew to aid you in whatever you need to take care of this menace. Obviously, he does not want the ship lost, I would imagine. So, unless we sustain significant damage, I think we can hold out for a while. Our hull is much denser than that of the fishing vessels that were out this way. We are surer, stouter, and certainly much sturdier of a build, you see. And to be quite honest, that's why we've named it the Prevailer. We have prevailed in every encounter we've had with other ships.
Very clever.
The Commodore is one for accurate advertising.
That's fair.
Hey, Adis, what does your tongue taste like?
What do you mean? Oh. Hold on. I'll use
Remember that one
primeval awareness.
time it tasted like sort of bitter, and the other time it was like sort of salty?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll use primeval awareness.
Cool. And the range is a mile, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And while I'm at it, like after that ends, I'll just use detect portal.
And that's also a mile, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And you're within range. You do not detect anything extraplanar or portals thereof.
I don't sense anything yet.
Cool. How about how far away are we from this place again?
Oh, we're about a couple hours out at this point.
Okay, cool.
But
cool,
I wanted
cool.
to talk to you now because if there was anything that we needed to be made ready or to have on the standby, I wanted it to be able to be good to go when we arrive at Deep Ruin Run.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. If we had a plan. I'm not gonna lie, we kind of like figure things out as we go most of the time. We're pretty good at that. The times that we have made a plan, well, it didn't work very well. Although there was that one time that we did scare some snake people out of a cave and then we trapped them. But that was when we had Carolee. So I don't know if that'll work ever again. Maybe Carolee was the one that made the plans. That's weird.
I see.
I don't think
miss
Shirley
her.
was the one that made
And
the plan.
Greg looks over at Defect and it's like, oh, I get why you miss her now. And then goes back to like saying weird things.
Before then, no idea.
Too bad spike growth wouldn't work in water.
Yeah.
This is all the same day, right? We have not taken any rest or anything. It's
No,
all-
you have taken a long rest. This is the second day of travel on the ship.
That's very useful.
So if you wanted to swap any spells for any reasons, those of you who pray for such things, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
In that case, can I ask Greg about a returning?
I think you have it.
Do
I think you have it. It's on my list.
Yeah,
of having
you should
it because we
you should
talked
have it.
about changing it and then we decided like, oh, because it would randomly take it out. But then Jared and I talked more and you said I could choose which one,
Correct.
which infusion drops.
Okay.
But I haven't ever actually changed it.
All right. Excellent.
Wonderful. Great, cool.
Spells. Ugh, spells. Okay.
So,
Like all those lightning spells.
Great. So, that being the case, my friendly neighborhood friendlies, unless you have anything else that you want to ask or talk about with the captain, she will make the final preparations for getting the ship into Deep Ruin Run.
if we're going to be going into like more or less the combat zone, I want to be higher up
Okay,
if
so
possible.
you want to be up in the crow's nest.
Is there anywhere else I can stand?
I mean, the forecastle at the front of the ship is higher, and the aft castle at the back of the ship is higher.
Mm, I'll start in the crow's nest, and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. I dig that. That's fine. Very cool. So you're gonna head up there. Blimey is still up on crow's nest duty. I guess we'll call it lookout, something like that.
Yeah.
Great, cool. Cool. Where does everybody else want to be before you head into the ship? Like, what positions are you taking up?
Can I be at the front of the ship?
Yeah, you can.
All right, and I guess I'll have my javelin out for this.
Okay, cool. So you take up a position near the front of the ship. Greg, where would you like to be?
So the ballista is
It's
on
at
the main, is at the foredeck, and the catapult's at the main deck.
Yes.
I will not be able to see crap if I'm at the catapult, I imagine. I want to be higher up, maybe where the steering is, so I can see more,
Sure.
but not like climbing all the way up like Adis does, obvious. Yeah.
All right,
I
cool.
think I want to be up there.
All
And
right.
it's from end to end is how many 100 feet? 100 feet? 60 feet?
The ship is not that long. It's only about like 80 feet or so in length and about 20 feet wide. So it's a long, sleek kind of ship.
Okay. So I'm about 80 feet from defect. More or less. Slightly less.
I mean, I would say you can see him on the forecastle if you want to be about 60 feet away from him. He's right up in the front of the bow.
Okay.
Using my eagle eyes, by the way, scanning the surface.
Yeah, good to know. Spoot, what is your desired locale upon this ship?
Maybe the best place on the ship where I can just kind of see, I don't know, like as much on either side of me as in the direction we're heading. So maybe the front of the ship.
Okay, so you want to be up in the front with defect?
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's all good. Very cool. So eventually, about an hour or so after you all kind of like figure out where you want to be and kind of talk to people about how you're gonna look for and attack these things, you begin skirting the coast of one of these broken islands, and the captain starts calling out orders and all eyes for the chasm and all these kinds of stuff. And sure enough, within a few moments, there is a vertical cliff face that is covered in kind of overgrown ivies and dangling plants. And the captain calls for the ship to like line up at a certain point and begins charging the wall in the ship. And the ship begins creeping ever forward, and the bow hits the vines and roots that are hanging over the edge here and pushes through them. And Defect and Spoot, you're right up there, and you're looking at each other like, we're going to hit this fucking wall. And the ship doesn't hit anything. It continues through. Yeah, it continues through. And slowly you are drawn through this kind of foliage curtain the captain has called for all the sails to be pulled, so it's just the motion that's pushing the ship through the uh, uh, not kinetic motion, but the momentum that the ship is already under is what is pushing it through at this point. And as each section of the ship passes through, you see that it is dark back here, but there's enough ambient light from the sun skirting through in shafts that you see kind of a massive crack that has appeared between two large faces of the same cliff. And it is through that chasm, which is about 60 feet wide at this point, that the ship is moving. And once the entirety of the ship is through, the captain calls for oars and sails, and a good half of the crew kind of runs down to the deck, the below decks rather, and puts out like little oars. The ship isn't technically designed to work this way, but it has them and it can make some use of them. And they're using the oars more to like get a little bit more momentum. Sails are dropped, wind picks up, and you see that the chasm kind of curves and swerves in certain ways. So they're using the oars also to like guide the ship, and more steering than propulsion at this point. But after about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of what feels like a very narrow passage on this massive ship, you emerge out into a clear, shining blue cove. Looking around, all the bits of various mountain peaks or rocks or whatever have kind of stumbled down, and it seems, looking down, like the cove is straight down and just super deep. And you can see fish, like big schools of fish kind of popping up in the shallows or in darker places that are currently obscured. And you can see them swimming deep throughout the entire bit that you're all looking around. Adis, up in your crow's nest, you can see that this chasm that you're kind of passing through, this crack in the side, you have about like 15 feet of clearance above you, and that's it. Like, it is a narrow fit for this ship.
So this is more or less like a cavern that opened up into a big enclosed cove.
Yes, but there is no ceiling. There's no like roof or anything. So it's just
Right.
like a passage.
Right. Okay. So it was just like a cave, but like this part is like completely separate, more or less, from the lake. Like it's
Mhm.
like one way in, one way out.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, yes.
Okay. All right.
As you're emerging, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you notice anything else maybe about the area.
Is that the Loch Ness monster?
Is that all, okay, all of us or just him?
Just him at the moment. He's in a crow's nest.
Okay.
30.
With a 30, okay. Yeah, Blimey is kind of pointing out to you landmarks as you go, once you get out. And you can see all sorts of stuff. You notice on the far side, it seems like there are indeed ruins on the side of this mountaintop, or island, or whatever you want to call it. But they are all like akimbo. They're all like shifted or 90 degrees, or they're at odd angles. And they've like fallen down in a lot of places, or they're just piles in other areas.
Are they inset into the wall like oh God, Mesa Verde? Is that the one?
No, not all of them. Some of them are. Pardon me. Some of them are.
Okay.
But a lot of them, it seems like they were built outside of mountain peaks, and then kind of fell over, and kind of piled up on top of each other.
And has it been what's considered a short rest of me chilling in the crow's nest? Or a short rest, not light rest?
Sure, you could have had a short rest. That's fine.
I would like to detect portal again.
Ooh, okay. So, up in the crow's nest, you cast Detect Portal.
Mhm.
I would like you to make an Arcana check in this moment.
Oh, fuck.
The thing none of us are good at.
Next character. Not terrible.
Yeah, an 11.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you don't sense any portals, like any open portals, but something tinges around the edges of the sense, but you don't sense any open portals.
Which direction did it come from?
Down.
That's cute. I don't like that. I guess I'll just yell down to like Greg or whoever's closest to where I am.
Mhm.
Like I feel something deep down in the water. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not quite a portal, but there's something.
I mean, I could go look.
I don't recommend jumping in there.
Mm-hmm.
How deep?
It's more
We're
than a
yelling
mile.
across to each other. Oh, that's too
Yeah.
far. I'd probably
More than
not
a
do that.
mile.
That's really deep. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's a distance thing. It's just something like on the edge of the sense. Like portal adjacent is what you're sensing more so than
Oh, okay.
like it's
Well,
not
I think
far away.
Hold on.
It's definitely many hundreds of feet away. But
Yeah, because it says I detect the distance and direction of the closest portal within a mile. So so it's not a mile down. Like how far is it?
probably like 400 or 500 feet, maybe.
Okay. So it's like
Still
400 or
probably-
500 feet.
Yeah, that'd take me a while to get down there, I guess.
And I don't know if you want to go down there with a giant octopus. Is that what it was,
I'm very
Blimey?
small. Maybe it wouldn't like me if
Yeah.
it's wanting to attack the ship.
I don't know. I wouldn't risk it. At least not until we have at least seen what we're dealing with.
Yeah, okay.
And then I know I'm probably gonna regret this, but I will use another spell slot for primeval awareness.
Okay.
So that's just the whole spectrum.
Um,
Save monstrosities.
save monstrosities.
But those are a favorite
Dang
enemy.
it.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I don't think it does. But you do get a fizzy, effervescent feeling on your tongue.
Or Fae?
That's what the feeling tells you.
Damn it!
The hell is going on in this cove?
It's the flying things. Flying things! Hi! Please don't attack
Which-
us!
Speaking of flying things, Adis, as you with your 30 perception check, because you're freaking broken, you can see flying above those like knocked over ruins, like way in the distance, are some large winged forms. You can't quite tell if they are just big birds or what, but there are flying things over by the ruins.
Defect, can you see what those things are over there? Because you can see up to a mile, can't you?
I can, and I will. What do I see?
Cool.
I,
So Adis,
I call
Adis
down to my
points it out.
binoculars.
Yeah, Adis gives you a bearing, and you look out defect, and what you see are humanoid forms with wings, like big bird wings, Make a perception check for me, actually.
16.
Great. That's wonderful. Cool. Yeah, the wings are like coming out of their backs. They all appear to be feminine in form. You can't make out like the details. The details are a little fuzzy, but they're definitely feminine in form. They have like bird wings coming out of their shoulders. It looks like they have claws instead of like feet or hands, maybe, or maybe they're just really, really long fingers. But yeah, you can see them just kind of flying, and you definitely see a few kind of looking
Do I
in the direction.
Can I see how many exactly there are? Is there a number attached to this?
At the moment, yeah. At the moment, you can see that there are. You see like 4 in the moment, kind of flying up in the air above the ruins.
I'll call back out. I see lady angels with ugly feet.
Lady angels with ugly feet.
Amber has some thoughts about what those are. Grig has no clue.
Does that sound like anything? Since I tasted Faye, does that remind me of anything?
Make an Arcana check.
Woo, more of these. I'm gonna have to take Arcana as a skill. 4.
Or maybe I should.
You're not entirely sure. I mean, lots of things have wings. Yeah, definitely lots of things have wings. I mean, in the Feywild, like everything has wings, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not Red Bull.
They're definitely not Red Bulls.
No,
Great.
we could be-
Are they the lady who gets wings from Red Bull? Sorry. Talking about wings, and that marketing
you want
campaign
to
is very
take?
effective.
Do you want to take
was.
a rowboat ashore and make your way up to the ruins and see what you could find?
I would like to not rowboat over the deepest part of this thing.
Well, as you're
can use
having
my
these
voice
conversations and stuff, you notice that the captain is sailing right to the middle of the cove.
Okay, I mean, if we can move closer to the ruins before taking a rowboat out, sure.
Okay, and just as a reminder, the captain has said that, to her knowledge, no one has ever gone up to the ruins.
That's fine.
Okay.
Treasure.
I want to go there. I think that it's them.
Okay.
Or maybe we can speak with them and maybe they know something.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, why would you not talk to something that lived there? I mean, I guess you might want to not kill them. Or maybe they don't want to kill you, but maybe they do want to kill you.
We'll
I
have
don't
to
know.
see.
Sometimes when you encounter things, there's just killing.
But yeah, I'll see if we can move the ship closer to the ruins before we take a rowboat.
All right. Cool. Yeah. You see that as you get to the center, the captain calls for all sails to be furled or unfurled. Yeah, furled is wrapped up, right? Yes. To be
Yes.
stowed. So she calls for those to be stowed, and she calls for essentially an all stop. And Greg, you are closest because you're on the aft quarter here. And she looks down at you. Well, we've arrived in the center of the cove. I suppose now we just wait for these octopuses to come to the ship, and then you all will take care of them.
Octopi?
I mean, I guess so. Are you sure we shouldn't talk to the, like, flying lady angels with ugly feet?
I've never spoken to them, nor gotten close enough to get a good look. I don't know how you all managed to do it.
Defect's really smart and got good eyes.
Well,
you
be
look at
that as
them,
it may.
it's like they're looking into your soul.
It's true. And I
You're
stare at
not
his.
there.
I'm
You're at the front of the ship, mister.
saying weird things about my BFF.
Well, be that as it may, whatever you want to do. If you want to take rowboats ashore and make your way through that mess, that's your prerogative. But I have no dealings nor knowledge of what those creatures are. They could be benign or they could be malicious, but they have they have never attacked a ship in the water so far.
Exposed. Do you want to talk to those bird ladies? I could make something kind of loud that just keeps playing. Do you think we could throw it over there? Ooh, we could catapult it over there.
I mean, they are very far away. It's not a small cove. It is like hundreds of feet.
Did you
Just to
ask
shore.
Food if I wanted to speak to them?
Yeah, it seems like a thing you'd want to do.
I mean, yeah, if they were closer, maybe, yeah. I didn't think about preparing tongues today. I'm not sure what language they speak. Now that Spoot's looking at them, is there anything Spoot can discern about them, either nature or arcanally speaking?
Well, first off, make a perception check. Because, like, you kind of can see the forms that have been pointed out, but to get any knowledge of what
Admittedly,
they
my-
might be, you'll need to get a good look at them.
Admittedly, my eyes are not as good as some people.
All right, a 14. Good. Great. Yeah, you can definitely see them. So go ahead, make an Arcana check for me.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can give myself guidance. I haven't in a while, but I feel like I'm going to need it.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. And a natural 20.
Maybe not.
Well done. Cool. So yeah, you look out at these flying forms, Spoot, and you see them, and Defect's description of them: flying angel ladies with claws, bird wings. They're all female presenting. You know what those are. They're harpies. And you know that they are sadistic, evil creatures that have the torso and body of a human kind of merged with like a vulture. They are not kind. They will trick people into their web with like a very nice like song and like alluring kind of music and vocal tones, and then they will eviscerate them.
Okay. Upon recognizing what these are, in fact, and I would have hoped Spoot would have actually had some doubts about it before now, he would say, he would like just kind of grab Grig if Grig was nearby, not too harshly, but just sort of like with purpose, and say, "Don't call them over here under any circumstances. Those."
I'm like 60 feet away. You have to yell.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're on the back of the ship. You're at the front of the ship.
Okay, I'll say, I don't even think I want to yell. I'll like go to yell and be like,
What?
"Nope, come here."
What? What? I'm keeping. What do you?
Don't
What is?
don't
What is
call
this?
them.
We're killing the. No.
Walking over here now.
What? We're killing things. Yeah, I know. We're gonna kill the octopus.
Yes, but don't call to those things, and I'll point at the flying things. Those are not angels.
Oh,
Those,
good.
no, those are harpies.
Oh, what are those?
Not good. Kind of like the opposite of an angel,
Should we kill them?
if we have to. But I think at this point we should try to avoid them if we can, because they are evil and not to be trusted, and they will find a way to lull you into some sort of sense of security, and then they'll try to kill you.
Oh. Okay. That's like a lot of people.
Yes, but they are a little bit more magical maybe than most people we encounter.
I mean, okay. I guess.
I would
I
be
guess there's
careful.
nobody who like cares if they're alive or not, so there's no real profit to killing them. So yeah, I guess we'll concentrate on the octopus.
I would like you to make a religion check with advantage. Because you got a natural 20.
Ooh, thank God for advantage.
All right, with a 22, Spoot, you know that harpies came about because of a divine curse, like ages ago. An elf attempted to woo a stranger to her with music and failed, and the gods, and so she cursed the gods and got all angry at them, and they punished her by transforming her into the first harpy. So yeah, they're bullies. They're sadistic cowards. Like, they won't attack like one-on-one. They will trick and beguile and gang up on people.
I'll basically try to like relay that, like say that they are really devious and are going to be a difficult fight because they won't fight fair and they will find some way to always hold the advantage. So
What?
I'll tell you when you get down.
Yeah, Adis, you're just hearing them. You're kind of hearing their voices as they're yelling across the ship.
Like, are the harpies far enough away to like reasonably they shouldn't really hear us? Or
They're hundreds of feet away. Yeah.
okay, I'll just yell up, "Harpies, be careful!" If we have to kill them, we should. But if we don't have to, it might be better for us to avoid them. And that's all Spoot says. And Spoot will kind of say, I'm going to return to watching the water to see if we notice any changes.
Should I shoot something in the water?
Well, as you go to, you start hearing smashing against the ship. You hear thunk, 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 thunk.
Never mind.
Yeah. And looking down and over, you see that one, actually closest to Greg on your side, you look over and you can see like tentacles and a large form underneath it. And it's actually managed to put a small crack in the ship.
Zoinks. There's
I
already a
didn't-
crack in the ship.
I didn't see this yet.
You see it right as all the noise happens. You look down and you see the crack on the ship. And Adis, you can see, looking down around the ship, at various points, you see 3 large shapes in the water with tentacles like beginning to smash and bow to the ship that aren't seeming to have much of an effect yet. But looking down, you see that there are more darker shapes that appear to be rising to the surface. And I would like everyone to roll initiative at this point, please.
Cue the Muzak.
All the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, which Final Fantasy are we in?
I'm not actually sure.
I thought that was like unused Mortal Kombat music.
Yeah, it's just like generic whatever my brain said was battle music. Are we waiting to switch or?
You can select your token and roll it now. It'll put it into the tracker.
Okay. I
Um,
can't select my token apparently. I will try refreshing.
Did it take mine?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
No selecting.
Oh, even with advantage, just roll a 9.
Oh,
Great.
Right.
There we go.
Come on, Greg. Surpass me.
I don't know about that. That doesn't happen very often.
I mean, Spoot did. I'm just saying.
Oh, you did. I saw the 9.
I don't know how to stop that.
Don't double click.
It's not that. It's. I don't know what it is.
A 10.
At least we're all
right.
consistent. All
All
next to
right.
each other.
Cool.
Actually, I hate going first.
All right. Well, let's take you on over to the map. Boom. All right, friends. So here you are. We have Defect and Spoot up in the top corner here. We have Adis. Adis, you are about 50 feet in the air in the crow's nest. As
Got-
per your request. You're right there.
Mhm.
And you see back at the helm of the ship, you see the captain, Orner Windalong, and you see Kumquat Shore Watcher right next to Greg on the back of the ship. And looking over, you see some big old octopi.
Octopi!
And there's crew kind of running around doing a thing there. Great. Well, first up are some octopi. And they are going to attempt to smack the ship. Oof. One of them, like, smashes the ship up by the front, but doesn't do any damage. The hull's too strongly reinforced. However, the one at the back of the ship, the same one that, like, managed to get the crack, whacks it again for another whack, and there's a big crack kind of appearing in that part of the ship. That was this guy right here by Greg. And from below, Adis, those two dark forms that you saw surface as two more giant octopi join the fray, hitting the ship but not doing any damage to it. Next up, we have Spoot.
Oh darn. I think Spoot's gonna start by casting. Wait, I gotta remember the order of operations on this one.
Now, just remember that you are 15 feet above the water line. Actually, Spoot, where you are, you're 20 feet above the water line.
Okay, one moment. Okay. I'm gonna try this then. Can I? I'd like to cast spiritual weapon, if I can, on the water line adjacent to this northwest octopus.
Yeah, because you can cast it within 60 feet of yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if this is one of those I need to wait before I actually like roll it until it's time to damage.
No, that is spiritual guardian. Spiritual weapon can attack when you cast it.
That's right. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
Casting.
Nice.
Well, I didn't get a natural 20.
24. Yeah, that 24 will hit for 12 points of force damage. Very nice. Woo.
And I will then say, man, it's kind of out of character for Spoot, actually, but I think I just got too excited to hit something. Spoot will use that as like a warning thing, and then he will attempt to speak in Aquan to the octopus, or yell, I guess, because I'm 20 feet away, to say, basically, stop, do not harm this ship, or we will be forced to retaliate further.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Not that.
All right, so you gurgle out some Aquan to them, and who knows if they will be receptive or not. All right. Next up, we have Adis.
All right, I am. I'll fight. I'll shoot this one that's near Greg. Just knock a few arrows.
All right.
Assuming I am too far for Planar Warrior.
Yeah, that guy. You're 50 feet above sea level,
Yeah.
as it were.
I really wish they didn't limit that to 30 feet. It's like Wizards of the Coast expects every ranger to be melee. Because I don't think I've ever met a melee ranger. Just saying. Like, no strength-based ranger, ever.
It's called fighter.
Yeah,
basically.
it's called a fighter at that point.
I will use my free Hunter's Mark then to Hunter's Mark this one.
All right, you hunters mark him.
And then, I don't know, because I'm high up in the crow's nest, would I get sneak attack?
It is aware that there is danger around, so I would say you're not hidden from it in that sense.
That's fair. Alright, let me edit this, because I'm not going to be doing force damage this entire combat sequence. Alright. First pew pew. Ew, a 13.
A 13, I think, misses. 13, no, 13 hits, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's a big old cephalopod.
Oh, 12 piercing plus
Very nice.
5 Hunter's Mark.
Ooh, girl.
Second shot. 11.
An 11 just hits.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
For 5 piercing.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 2 ones. With another one,
All right.
Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, your 2 arrows thunk, thunk, smack right in. And yeah. Do some damage to it. Very nice. Anything else on your turn, Adis?
No, that's it.
All right. Greg, that brings us to you.
Cool. I'm gonna pull out my little cannon as a force ballista
All
and
right.
have it shoot the same one Adis shot, the one that's making all that fuss over there.
All right. Bonk, there's Chomp.
Force attack. I rolled an 18.
That will hit.
It does 10 damage plus... No, because this is not a spell. Never mind. 10 damage.
All right. Cool.
If the target is a creature, it is pushed up to 5 feet away from the cannon.
All right. Yeah. So
know.
it launches up, and so it sinks 5 feet below the water.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else, Greg?
That is it for now.
All right.
Do you think they listen, Spoot?
I think would that roll, would Spoot like have any inclination that he might have not have said it in the best way?
You've never talked to an octopus before? Who knows?
I don't know.
Next up, Kumquat shouts orders to the sailors. and calls for a couple people to go down in the ship and and check the hulls if there's any damage inside, if they have leaks. And that brings us to defect.
We should just use
Okay.
sending.
So this one right next to me would be. It's still like in the water, right?
Yeah, it's 20 feet down. Like, they're not trying to climb up on the ship. They are attacking the hull of the ship.
Just making sure. So I'm gonna, get as close as I can to the edge, take my javelin, and I yell out, "From hell's heart, I stab at thee!" and just shoot my javelin straight down.
All right, make your attack roll.
I'll quickly look back to Spoot and be like, "That was pretty cool, right? You think they understand me?"
I think they get the message. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, first attack, 23 for 5 points of damage.
That will hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Um,
Now, question on the Javelin of Returning. When does it return?
Returning weapon. Magic
Wait.
weapon grants +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and it returns to the builder's hand immediately after it is used to make a ranged attack.
All right, great. So you throw the javelin and it pumps right back to your hand.
Amazing. I love this magic stuff. All right, and second attack. 24 for another 5 points of damage.
Yeah, totally hits.
It's not like my axe.
But it is
Bonus.
effective.
Yeah, bonus. I'll rage.
Okay.
Beat myself up.
It still adds. You're throwing it with strength.
Yeah, but I think it's only for melee.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah.
You're
Rage.
raging now.
Range on, or
Raging now.
don't maintain rage on ranged.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't think you can.
Ooh.
But you can check that while we go around.
Hold on.
The captain
Doesn't say anything.
is next. So she begins shouting orders at other sailors. She says to ignore the weapons because they're right on us. And she's calling out orders. Let the professionals handle it. They say they have a plan. They've got an idea.
We never said that.
The sailors, a couple of them rush down the stairs here. These guys rush down there in order to see about repairing any damage that may be caused. So they all hop down. Yeah. Great. Cool. Next up, we have some giant octopi. Adis, make a perception check for me. So we're up in the crow's nest.
All right. God, gross. Hold on. See if this does anything. Yeah, 19. Better.
Okay, with a 19, you definitely see another shape in the water, like swimming under the ship. And then we have some octopi that are going to attempt to smash a ship. All right, so most of them do manage to hit the ship, but they don't do any damage. Well, actually, the one at the top of the ship does manage to do a little bit of something. But not a very significant form of damage, but just a little bam. Which brings us back to Spoot.
Yeah. I think for now, Spoot's gonna see what happens if I hit him with some Sacred Flame. Same octopus as before.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish it would stop doing that.
All right, it makes a Dex saving throw. It fails its saving throw, so it takes 11 radiant damage.
Nice.
Then, for good measure, as if like I told you so, I'll hit it with a spiritual weapon.
Yeah, go for it.
They clearly didn't listen.
With a 10, you can't quite get it. It's kind of awkward hitting at it. You're trying to whack a tentacle, and it just kind of like waves it out of the way.
Your spiritual weapon keeps swinging at natural 20s.
On
Uh,
the second.
next,
Next.
anything else, Spoot?
I think that's it for me. I'll
All
just
right,
kind
Adis.
of.
All right, Adis, we are up to you now.
I thought I hit my microphone. I'm going to just yell out that I see another one coming to the surface from under the ship, and then I'm going to just shoot this one again.
All right, go for it.
19
Absolutely hits.
for another 5 and a 21
Yep. it
or
hits.
another 9 and then another 8 hunter's mark damage.
Much better rolls.
That is just enough. You fire your arrow, and it blares into magical life as it shoots down, and the final arrow whacks this octopi like right through the eye socket, and its tentacles go and it begins to sink in the water.
Nice.
Going down.
Then I would like to bonus action move my hunter's mark to the one that's on the other side of Greg.
All right, very cool. Bonk. You have marked it as such. Well done. Next up, we have Greg.
It's a me. Greg is going to scamper this way and be like, "Ha! The other one's dead." And I'm going to simply firebolt that octopus on this side. Apparently not.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, it's
Force
in the water.
will attack again. Ooh, an 11
Uh,
for
an,
11.
an 11 will just hit. Yeah,
All right, gets 11 force damage,
wonderful. You.
and it bobs once again.
Yeah. So your little chomper is doing its thing. Yep. Kumquat calls for the crew to man the rails just to be on the safe side. Defect.
Awesome. Javelin at the same octopus.
Yeah, go for it.
12 and 19.
Both hit for.
That's 8 and 4, so 12 points of damage.
All right. Yeah, that octopus up by the front is looking very angry. The captain has drawn her sword and is just shouting orders to the crew. Defend the ship, but don't get in their way, that kind of thing. The sailors, who are still above deck, move to the rails. This one runs over there. And they just kind of are looking down. They don't really have much in the way of like much to fight these things. They have a few harpoons and a few like little light crossbows, but that's about it. But they'll each make a attempt for it. 13 Oh, wow. They all hit their targets. How about that? Very cool. So they'll take their targets. Pachow. This guy shot over at this one for a little bit of damage. All right, cool. Wonderful. So the next thing that happens, let's see. Oh, yeah. You see two tentacles slither up the side of the ship and wrap themselves around these two sailors right here.
Ooh.
So they are currently grappled by these big purple tentacles that have wrapped around them. And actually, one of them dies.
Already?
Or goes unconscious anyway.
Oh no.
Yeah, you see this sailor right here. He has a rough time as he is squeezed and bludgeoned by this by this thing. This other guy looks to be in very rough shape. But yeah, so those happened. Next up, we have our octopusy friends yet again. There are 4 left. They hit the ship with varying degrees of success, but no significant damage is maintained. Brings us to Spoot. Actually, before your turn, yeah, this sailor, or both these sailors actually, that are, or no, just one of them. The one that is still alive is thrown randomly in a direction. Let's see which way it goes. Yeah, straight across the deck. He's just thrown 20 feet. And as he collides, well, maybe he'll get away. Oh, he does. So this individual here manages to like see him coming, which is good. Let's see. So he got thrown about 20 feet. So the guy sees him coming and is able to hold his ground and kind of catch the sailor, but the sheer force of the throw, you all hear a sickening as the sailor who is thrown, his neck has snapped.
Oh no.
And these are tentacles not from any of the things that we see, but from somewhere else.
They do not appear to be connected to any of the things, although it is now Spoot's turn, so he can potentially discern more information, depending on what he wants to do.
He'll be fine. No, I'm just kidding.
Not that.
I'm actually curious if Spoot saw any of that happen. Given I am.
Oh yeah, you did. You heard screaming, and then you saw these tentacles wrap around and squeeze one sailor to death, and then fling the other one across the boat. And you definitely heard that sickening snap of a neck being broken.
Oh boy, so many questions I have right now. Spoot's gonna look at Defect and say, "Take care of this one," pointing at the octopus below, and I'm gonna like move here. Are there still tentacles? Can I see tentacles, or are they?
Yeah, you can see waving tentacles, waving purple tentacles over here. This individual is still wrapped up in one of them, even though they're dead. Or at least not moving.
Gross. Yeah, is there anything I can discern, or do I need to get closer?
You can make a perception check. See if you notice anything about this.
I don't know what's going on with my rolls. It rolled for me in D&D Beyond, and I rolled a 17.
All right.
12 plus 5.
Sure. With a 17, the tentacles that just flung that guy and are holding on to this guy are different. They're like a purpley color, where the other ones are more kind of like just a beigey kind of natural color. There's something about the coloring on these tentacles that is very different from the octopi.
Does it look notably larger, or is it hard to say from just the tentacles?
You can't see the creature itself from where you are.
I'm going to attempt, let me make sure I'm at range, to like maybe shoot the tentacle to free the man.
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
Sacred Flame, let's see. Yeah, I got this.
Cool. Let's see. It makes a dexterity saving throw. The tentacle whoosh, whips out of the way of your divine fireball.
Great, they're more dexterous when they're purple.
Yeah, these tentacles are like waving like crazy.
I'm actually not really sure how this works. If I'm not like directly looking at what my spiritual weapon is hitting, can I still use it to attack?
I will say yes, but it's at disadvantage.
Okay. What if I were to step to the edge of the boat here, or like take a step back with my remaining movement?
Yeah, you can see this.
I didn't want to walk too far away.
Yeah. Yeah, and with that 9 points of force damage from that 26, you see this octopus begin to sink into the ocean, or lake, or cove, or whatever this is.
I'll just look at Defect very seriously and say, we might have bigger problems down there toward the center of the boat.
All right.
And I'll just like step out of his way so he can get past me.
Okay, cool. At the end of your turn, this dude, bro, wrapped up in the tentacle here, is flung across the boat again. Or rather, for the first time, he is. However, the guy on the far end was not expecting it and didn't see it coming, and gets whacked as the body of the sailor gets thrown over to him, smashes into him, and the body tumbles into the water, leaving a very injured guy like half bent over the railing, having been smashed and thrown by a tentacle. Adis, it is your turn. I think you're muted.
My bad. Pew that one.
Yeah, go for it.
A 22 and a nat 20.
Yeah, both those hit.
So first one's 5 piercing damage
Mm-hmm.
with 6 hunter's mark damage.
All right.
Second attack, of course I roll a 1 on my damage for the crit. 11 piercing plus 1 for
Yep.
crit. And then another 9 hunter's mark.
Very nice. Yeah. That octopus is looking pretty messed up.
Greg, that one looks like it's about to go down.
Adis, as you look down and you saw those tentacles, like those purple tentacles, reach up and like throw people,
Aha,
you do see something.
joy.
Yeah. You see another form in the water. You see this guy.
Oof.
Is it like massive or just on that one side?
It's just on that side, and it seems to be the creature that was like has those purple tentacles.
Okay. In that case, I will then bonus action move my hunter's mark to this one.
Hey,
Get ready.
Zekril! Thanks for subscribing for your 3rd month, buddy. Nice to see you. Way to go. Thanks, Zekril. You're having fun with us as we deal with octopi. It's great.
Calamari.
All right.
There's a squid.
So yeah, Adis, that is what you see down there.
Can I hunter's mark the purple one then?
You want to transfer your hunter's marker as a bonus action? Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
The creature, you can just do it, right? It doesn't have to have like died. You can just move it, right?
I could just move it as a bonus action.
Very cool. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Oops. Well, you're concentrating on that. Cool. All right, Greg.
That's me. Grig is going to cast Levitate
Okay.
on themselves and have the little cannon just riding on me
Mhm.
as usual, like it's super tiny. So the two of us are going to float up 20 feet in the air.
All right, so you float up 20 feet in the air.
Yep.
And looking down, you can see all these things around the ship.
Cool. I'm going to have the Force Ballista shoot that purple one because I saw those bodies fly.
All right, go for it.
That's some serious thunder. 21?
Yeah, that definitely hits for
Alright.
12 points of damage.
No, thank you.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so you're concentrating on that spell. Kumquat calls out to people, watch the purple tentacles. We're down to stuff to that effect. Very first mate, like damage control. And he moves over to the edge there. And actually, he doesn't have a ranged weapon. He pulls out a little longsword that he's got 2 hands on and just kind of runs down here. He's going to attempt to make an attack with his longsword against some tentacles. Wow. He manages to crit on one of his swipes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right before he dies, but okay.
Yeah. Great. Good job. Cool. Defect, it is your turn.
Awesome. Defect is going to run down. He's going to shove this man aside and say something like, "Get out of the way, puny human. Get below decks. Save yourself."
I mean, he just lets you walk by. He doesn't stop you.
Oh, okay, all right. He's very polite.
Well, like, he's here, like, he was told to, like, help in whatever way you do. So he sees you coming and just kind of like, go ahead.
Thanks for the help. And so from my vantage point, I see all 3 of these guys.
Yeah, you
on this
see
side.
everybody on this side. You can see them all.
Trying to remember my nautical terms. This is the
Port side. It's the left
Stumble?
side.
port side.
Yeah,
All right.
they're on the port side.
Port side. Thank you. Since I'm right here, I'm going to attack this one first with my javelin.
Go for it.
So attack. 22 for 6 points of damage.
Yep, and it flies back to your hand.
The second attack is 18 for 7 points of damage.
Yeah. Once again, no problem.
All right, and that's his turn.
Cool. All right, Captain Windalong rushes Captain Orna, if you will, pulls a rapier and a dagger and rushes over to here to also attack some tentacle action. Does manage to chop most of the way through one of the tentacles with her rapier. She stabs and kind of pulls and tears. So yeah. Well done, Cat. The sailors launch some crossbow action at things. They all do pretty well. This guy will... all three of these guys are going for that one. So that is minus that. This guy hops over to help with that guy. Ooh, nice. And they pepper with some more crossy bolts. Next up, this creature that has now appeared down here seems to be very angry. And
The ringleader.
yeah. First attack against Kumquat misses. He's able to dodge out of the way. But the captain is unfortunately grappled by the creature. And squeezed a little bit. And she is lifted into the air and brought over the edge down towards the waiting maw of the creature. And you can see that it is about to attempt to bite her. However, she puts up her sword at the last moment, blocking the beak. So she is grappled by this thing, kind of flying in the air, but there's a tentacle wrapped around her. And Kumquat's over there, Captain, no! Next up are some octopi.
Oh gosh.
Who kind of begin to go down. They begin to sink into the ocean, actually.
Hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so that is their pardon me. That is their turn. So let me roll a die here. The captain, or rather, sorry, that was the wrong thing. Kumquat deftly evades another tentacle that attempts to wrap around him as he cries out for the captain, and is trying to desperately save his boss. Spoot, it is your turn.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. First things first, I'm gonna move this spiritual weapon its maximum distance of 20 feet.
All right.
take another round away, and then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, seeing the captain in such a pickle will attempt to get to that area of the deck. It is possible, right? I've only spent a bonus action on spiritual weapon that I can still use my action to move this full 60 feet, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, right now I would say that you just saw the captain like wrapped around and begin to be pulled over the edge.
Okay, perhaps then I still need to attempt an action.
Like she is definitely over the railing and like wrapped in a tentacle. Like she's obviously in danger, but you've lost sight on her at the exact moment. But she's wrapped in a tentacle heading towards water. So
Does that look like that'll work for 30 feet of movement? Did I pass through objects that don't make sense passing?
I don't see you having moved anywhere.
Oh, I guess you can't see the little trail that I did.
There we go. Yeah, that's totally fine.
I did that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Can I see her now?
Oh yeah, yeah. You see her being like held by a tentacle and a massive maw, like a beak, attempting to bite her, and her just like fending it off with a dagger and a rapier, kind of frantically just like stabbing at the beak and like keeping it pried open.
Okay, I'm gonna, since I only moved at 30 feet, I'm gonna try to cast some Sacred Flame into the maw.
All right. Go for it. It is unable to evade you, and so it takes 9 points of radiant damage.
And I'll look at the captain and yell out, "Hold steady. We'll find a way to get you out or down."
Okay, very cool. Adis, up in the crow's nest.
Pew pew.
Yeah,
On the big one.
yeah, go for it.
Wait, do I have a thing? Hold on.
Do you have a thing? You have Hunter's Mark on it.
Yeah. No, all that's concentration. Just fuck. Some of that's concentration, which is stupid, but um.
Oof. It's a natural 1 on your longbow attack. I need Spoot, Kumquat, and the captain to roll d20s is what I need.
Are you gonna roll for Kumquat and the captain?
Oh yes, I am.
So it's like I don't have their sheet.
No, I'm definitely going to do it for them. It's the captain. The captain. She is. I mean, she rolled a 1. She is wrapped by this thing. She's in the wave. It's waving her all around, and you thought you had a bead on her, but the arrow, nicks her on the shoulder, and she takes a little bit of damage. And she cries out, "Ah, not me!"
Sorry, it's waving you around a lot, and I shoot again.
Yeah, go for it.
Not her though. 18.
18 will hit. Yeah. Go ahead, make your damage.
8 piercing with another 100's mark.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, Greg.
Okay. I'm up 20 feet in the air. I can see this. I now don't think that this is going to be over if the octopi suddenly left. So I am not going to use up all of the big guns. But firebolt. And if I do something like, say, I want to firebolt the tentacle that's holding her, you're going to make it harder, right?
So the tentacles have an armor class and they have a damage threshold. That's all I will tell you.
Okay, but there's no like disadvantage or anything like that.
Nope. So if you want to target specifically the tentacle that is holding the captain, you can do so.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
All right, go for it.
That one definitely misses.
Yeah, it just and you hear a tss as it hits the water.
What about a 23 from my little cannon?
Yeah, is the cannon also attacking the tentacle?
Same tentacle, yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, you definitely see the little force bolt fire out of your of your little chomper there, and it whacks into the tentacle, but the tentacle doesn't seem bothered by it.
Dang it.
Anything else, Greg?
That's my action and bonus action. So no, aside from saying dang it.
All right. Kumquat just cries out, "Captain!" and attempts to fight off the tentacle. Pardon me. That he is dealing with. Ooh. He's able to whack the tentacle, but is unable to deal it some significant damage. Let me just double check that. Yes. Yeah. However, one of his swings bounces off the tentacle. Spoot, I need you to roll a d20 and the captain as well.
Oh,
Actually,
no.
actually, no. It's got to be used. Actually, Spoot, roll a d20.
So much friendly fire, but that's okay. I have a shell.
It's actually okay because the sword bounces off of the tentacle and manages to dislodge some scales, and the scales fly right back into Kumquat's eyes, dealing him some shrapnel damage.
Oh, jeez. We're a mess.
Yeah, he's very upset about the captain. Defect.
Yeah. So there are tentacles of this creature on the ship deck now, right?
There's a couple, like, right in the area of Spoot and Kumquat, and the captain, of course.
All right. I'm gonna switch to my axe then.
Okay?
And I will join the fray and swing at a tentacle.
Yes, you may do so. Let me just check something here. Cool. Yeah, go for it.
All right. Swing number 1. 16 or 18.
The tentacle is too quick and dodges out of the way.
All right. Second attack. 25 for measly 8 points of damage.
Yeah, your axe connects, and you're used to Mattersbane cutting through stuff with no problem, but the scaly hide of this tentacle resists the damage of your axe, and it's unaffected. But you made solid contact with it. It just didn't take any damage.
Wait, even from magical slashing?
Yeah. It's got a damage threshold, and you didn't make it. So.
Okay. The damage threshold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to do a certain amount of damage. You have to hit the tentacle and then do a certain amount of damage to it in order for that damage to carry through.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's a tough creature. Or at least the tentacles are. All right, next up, we move on to the captain. The captain, sensing the danger that she is in, is going to attempt to get out of her current situation and wriggle out of the tentacle. And succeeds in doing so. She is no longer tentacled and is instead and kind of jumps off. And she's going to make another acrobatics check as she attempts to escape. Oof. So she manages to get out, but then she plunk falls in the water right there. So she is now swimming in the water right there. The sailors all cry out for the captain, rush over, and they all release bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Oh, one of them gets a shot right in the eye of the thing, or right in the eye ridge, I should say. Was a natural 20. Good for that sailor. Cool. Very cool. So next up is the entity here. The captain is right next to it in the water. So another tentacle reaches out and absolutely grabs the captain. She is grappled yet again. And you can hear her kind of as she is crushed a little bit by the tentacle.
Oh no.
She's not looking like she's... I mean, it's hard to tell because she's in the water. But it is looking pretty bad. So the creature will attempt to pull her into the maw. Woo! And with a 23, succeeds in biting her. And you see that the tentacle pulls her towards this big toothy maw, and it swallows the captain.
Oh no.
And the captain, you can't see her. She's been swallowed by this thing. And it then begins to descend and sinks into the ocean.
Okay, why did it want the captain?
And that's where we're going to take a 5-minute break, everybody.
Right.
So,
That
so we will be right back here on Nuuli Forged to see what our friends are going to do now that the captain, Orna Windalong, has apparently been swallowed and taken by this creature.
Time to grow some gills.
So we'll be right back in 5 minutes. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in a moment. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nuuli Forged, where Captain Orna Windalong was just apparently swallowed by a sea monster. Isn't that fun and exciting?
Not at
So,
all.
so the creature sinks down and begins swimming or descending in the water, having just swallowed the captain, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. Kumquat Shorewatcher is beside himself with terror, and he's just calling out, "Captain, no! Captain!" And he immediately looks to you, Spoot, because you are right next to him. What are you going to do? You have to save the captain!
You're the captain
And
now.
then Spoot says, "What do we do, Captain?" No, I'm just kidding. Okay, Spoot looks down at the water. Is it my turn? Is it Spoot's turn, or am I just responding?
We're out of initiative at this point.
Oh, great. That sucks a lot, actually, because time moves way stupid fast when you do that. How deep can I see the mass? Is it? How close is it?
You see that it well, make a perception check,
Jesus Christ, this is awful.
because it does swim quickly.
I'm sure. Why is it doing this? 11.
Because it
according
hates
to
you.
D&D Beyond.
You
I
just
see
saw that like once it swallowed the captain, it just like dove and like swam very quickly down.
Time is weird and stupid in combat and out of combat. Okay.
Yeah.
Really.
But he's like, can you go after it? Can you save her?
I can try, says Spoot, as he tries to figure out how his spell works, considering he doesn't know now how far away this creature is, even though it was right in front of him.
Which spell?
Control water.
Oh, okay. You know what? We can be in initiative because it would be your turn next. So
I don't know if this is. I pretty much got one shot at this, which is why I don't know if this will work. Screw it, YOLO. Right? I'm gonna cast this spell right where the creature descended.
okay.
And I'm gonna choose Whirlpool. And I don't really know what that did when I pressed that button.
That's gonna be fun for the ship.
Actually, yeah, no. Fuck. Well, I don't need to. Yeah, you're right. It is gonna be fun for the ship, isn't it? Because I can't. It's 50 feet across. Hang on one sec. Maybe that's a stupid idea because I don't know if I can actually direct it where we are not going to be. No, I can't. Never mind. That's stupid. I'm not going to do that because I didn't read all the text. If you're too close to the edge of it, you'll be pulled toward it. So, honestly, I don't really know what to do. All right, actually, you know what? Nope, I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing. We'll be out of initiative, I guess. I got nothing.
All right. Cool. So he sees that you don't know. Come with me, quick! And he rushes into the captain's cabin.
I'll follow.
He spends a quick few seconds kind of moving stuff around, and then he pulls out a little box, and he opens it up. He's like, "Captain keeps these for emergencies. If you go and bring one for her, it might be enough." And he pushes the little box at you.
Oh, what is the little box?
Inside the little box, you see 5 vials. And
Not health potions.
And you pull one out, and you see what looks to be like a purple like air bubble and a bit of a jellyfish inside of this vial.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Fuck.
The captain has these for emergencies. You drink them and you can breathe underwater for a little while. You gotta save her.
How long is a little while? Says Spoot. You know what? It doesn't matter. Give me the vial.
He gives you the box. There are 5 in there, so it immediately comes to your mind that that's enough for you and your friends, and 1 for the captain.
Okay, great. So Spoot runs out, and he... Oh, gosh. Come down, Adis, says Spoot as he runs out of the cabin. Everyone come here.
I jump out of the crow's nest.
You slide down with your knife down the sail.
just I slide down on the rope like a fireball.
Cool. Yeah, you.
Okay. Oh boy, this sucks.
Yeah,
Stupid.
he kind of rushes after you. He's like, the captain says they work for an hour.
Okay, so Spoot's gonna say, "All right, listen, everyone, take this, and it'll allow us to breathe underwater. I think we're gonna have to go after this thing. I don't know how we're gonna catch it, but we're losing time."
Spoot, I'm
And
also
I'm gonna
going to remind you at this moment, because I know you're, as a player, you're a little like tense. You're a turtle, which grants you certain things about underwater.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to look that up real quick in the middle of all of this. It's like,
Okay.
Defect stares at Spoot and says, I don't even breathe.
There's that too.
then maybe I should give one to you, and I'll look at Kumquat.
I'd love to, but I have to stay on the ship. I'm in charge of the crew now.
Yeah, well, if the ship goes down, never mind. It doesn't matter. I'll take it. Everyone else except for Defect and myself. Well, everyone else will get one.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I could or need to. I mean, I could just grow some gills.
Decide quick, says Spoot, and he runs to the edge of the ship, and he jumps over.
All right, so Spoot.
Oh my god.
Dives
I
into the
turn
water.
and say, my axe didn't do anything against this creature. Maybe we should not go after it.
Well, I mean, Spoot did.
Yeah, but, maybe he can't swim that fast. I don't know. Maybe we can call him back.
What is your swimming speed, Spoot, by the way? Is it 30?
I think it is just 30. Let me see if it specifies a difference. It's weird because there's a description that says that we're not natural swimmers, but it doesn't say anything like that we swim slower. We just must swim.
So then you would swim at half speed like a normal creature then.
Okay. That sucks. How fast do I sink?
Really?
Yeah, they don't have swim speed apparently. So, Spoot has dove down, and you can see Spoot. He swims like 15 feet down.
I say we do it. It'll be an adventure, and then we'll be famous.
Well, we can add this to the list of things we've killed, no?
Yeah. And Grig is going to... I am going to use the spell slot. I'm going to cast Alter Self to get water, because then I have more speed. But I will carry the potion of water breathing that he gave me.
Here's a weird physics question. If I indeed weigh 450 pounds on average, would I have any sort of sinking abilities?
Thinking speed.
No.
Yeah, if I just go in my shell and let myself fall.
No.
That's dumb. Why do we even have weight?
Cool. Well, your shell is very porous and very buoyant.
For flavor.
I'm starting to hate that word more and more.
So, great. So, Greg, you give yourself gills and dive into the water.
Yeah.
All right.
Cannonball!
Sploosh. Defect, did you jump in, or are you jumping in after Greg?
I'm going to make a beautiful dive into the water and making as little splash as possible.
All right, so you jump in. Ploosh. Adis.
I'll just drink the potion and swan dive in.
All right. So who has the extra potion for the captain?
I have one. I assume
Uh,
he gave me
okay.
one, so I have one that I didn't drink yet, at
Okay,
very
cool.
least.
Spoot would have kept the extra one for the captain.
All right, cool. You can both have one. I just wanted to make sure somebody had one before everybody was like, "Oh no, we totally brought one," but nobody did.
Right.
I mean, I'll take an extra one just in case, since I'm the only other one that needs to breathe.
All right.
I mean, if you had said that before I jumped in the water, I would have given you the one that Defect didn't use.
Oh, okay. Well, I already
And then
jumped.
it's on my person.
Well, with water
So
breathing, can't you talk underwater or no?
so who drank a potion? Just Adis, or did Defect drink one as well? Because
I did not.
okay, because
I
you
don't
don't
need-
you don't need to breathe. So cool.
Okay.
So Spoot has one. So Spoot has one. Greg has one as like standbys in cases. Adis drank one, and Adis also wants to bring a spare.
If that's possible?
Yeah, it
If
is.
we have it. Okay.
Yeah, when
I'll
you
take the spare.
when you swig one down, you see that there's two more left in the box.
Okay.
Okay. I think maybe this got confusing. Sorry. I think my plan was to bring the one for me and just not use it, and then the one for the captain.
Okay, so you have two.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. So
But still leave an extra one if Defect didn't drink it.
Well, no, it
Defect
just
doesn't need to
it
bring
just
one at
changes.
all.
Choices. So Greg has one. Spoot has two. Adis drinks one. Adis, there's one left that you could grab as a spare.
All right, I'm taking that one.
All right, cool. So you have one too. All right, you dive into the water. So you're all swimming down. You can vaguely, well, actually, I will say this probably took like 10 seconds for you to get all this stuff sorted out. So you can go ahead, Spoot, you were the first one in, go ahead, make a survival check. I'm not going to give you disadvantage because you can because you're a water person. So with a natural 20, Spoot, at the edge of your vision, you see a large form moving quickly deeper into the dark waters below. And you can tell by the currents that it is probably the creature you're after.
Ooh, is there a current? Is there like water flow underneath the water that's moving in the direction we're traveling?
No, but you see the disturbances in the water, is what I mean.
Yeah. Weird question. Would I have been able? My spiritual weapon can only move at 20 feet every bonus. Never mind. It would have dissipated because we're out of.
Yeah, less than a minute.
Yeah, it would have been gone. Never mind.
I mean, it would probably have like 30 seconds left, but it only
Come
moves.
along!
It only moves like 20 feet per round.
Yeah.
So
I'd say come along, and then I would watch it disappear.
yeah. But yeah, so it's swimming down. I assume you follow.
Yes, as fast as totally possible.
Do I
Yeah.
eventually pass him? Because I have my full speed.
That's gonna speed weird.
Actually, yeah, you do.
Did we all pass the total?
Do you have a swimming speed defect?
I don't. I guess not. No.
So you do not.
So
Well, you
So-
have unarmored movement, so you already move faster than us by
yeah,
a little bit.
you move half your speed is what you do.
okay.
Cool. Great. And Adis, you drank the potion of water breathing.
Yes.
So you can breathe, but your speed is still halved because you don't have any
Mhm.
swimming attributes.
Nope.
So Greg, you are probably the fastest swimmer, and you see where the direction that Spoot is pointing towards.
I am going to go to the extent of my movement, and I am going to shoot it still. Try to get its attention.
All right.
And my cannon is still with me,
Sure.
on me.
What is the
and still
range
alive.
of the cannon?
The cannon is 120 feet, as is my firebolt.
Great. Cool. Go ahead, make a perception check for me
Okay.
to see if you actually
That's
see it.
one.
Yeah, it has swum too deep now. It is in the dark waters.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, it is. So
I can't see it.
It
I was
looks
gonna
like
shoot it.
you're
Where'd it
going
go?
to have to track it.
How do you track a thing in water? Adis.
Oh, I'm still tracking it.
How-
You have
still
Hunter's
have-
Mark.
I still have it hunter's marked.
Ah ha ha. So,
How
Adis,
is it
you
that
you are able to unerringly follow the direction of this thing.
Just slowly.
Yes. much slower. Just gonna roll something here.
And I mean, I don't know if
Okay.
because I also have bonuses to tracking monstrosities, and I don't know if this thing is considered monstrosity.
That is good to know because it is.
Yay!
Oh, then I would be doing more damage to it as well.
Good to know. Cool. So yeah, Adis, between your spells and your hatred of the monstrous creature that this is, you are able to follow it. You don't swim as quickly as it, so you're hoping you can get to the captain in time. And you all swim down, and Defect and Spoot, you can no longer see because it is too dark down here.
Ooh, can I cast light?
Not that.
No, we've got the lantern we can control. I can pull that
Well,
out.
then somebody better do it soon, because I don't know where I'm going, and
No,
I'm
I'll
gonna
pull
be
it
casting
out.
light.
Tell me, you can pull it out and you cast light on the orb.
Oh, I'm about to say, I can speak Aquan. Can you understand it?
You cannot communicate, you two.
Casting
Oh,
light.
because you didn't drink the potion, but when you drink it, you can talk.
Oh. Yeah, I was trying to save it, and I didn't know that. Oh, well. That's fun. I'm casting light.
Yep. Boom. You light up. And you swim. So by the time you've turned on the light, you probably swum down like 3 minutes and it's dark enough. You can still see up above you, but you can't see below you.
Are we protected from the pressure?
Yeah. I'm going to say yeah, because Defect doesn't breathe. Two of you have magic going on, and turtles are fine.
Okay, good, because this could have got really awkward if you were like, "Well, you didn't drink the potion. Now there's pressure.
Yeah.
Can you drink potion out of water? I don't know. We'll find out."
Ah.
So,
I mean, I would imagine that spell does that.
Yeah, the spell takes care of it. All right.
I'll
So,
take
Adis, you track this thing down, and you manage to swim deep enough. Probably you swim for a good 15, 20 minutes down, deeper and deeper into things. And you eventually come to a place where you can see seaweed floating on the walls, the currents moving it. With your spell still up. How long does your spell last, by the way? An hour?
An hour.
Okay, you're good. You can sense that the creature you are tracking lies beyond the seaweed in the wall.
Okay. I will say, because I'm the only one that can speak, apparently. It's right past the seaweed. Are you guys ready?
All right, you all swim through the kelp. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
I can do that.
As the kelp kind of swirls around you all.
What the fuck?
All right, all of you are caught in the kelp.
Not that.
Bollocks.
Well, no, defect rolled a 14 because you have advantage on deck saves.
Oh, that's
Because
right. Thank you.
barbarian.
All of you are caught
Right.
in the kelp.
God damn it! I tried. I tried.
We're gonna be here for a
I
minute.
I'm gonna take out my I almost said rapier.
I need everyone to make an athletics check.
Oh, god damn it! I can't slash at it.
That's
No.
about right.
Oh my. 5 for
Uh,
Greg.
God.
Eat my bubbles.
Do you have advantage defect?
On
You
Uh,
can
athletics, strength.
You
only
you
when you're
could rage.
raging, right?
Only when
Yeah.
raging.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
only.
so you're strapped. Spoot, you are able to break out.
That's all right. Everyone will catch me anyway. I'm just gonna keep swimming.
Yeah. So you can aid one person to attempt to break them out.
Who's nearest me? I'm gonna aid defect. He needs my light, and I have light.
Okay, great. So defect, you can make another athletics check with advantage.
There we go.
Okay,
25.
25. You and Spoot tear through the kelp, no problem.
See ya, suckers! I say
All
in Aquan.
All right.
You can't say that.
Assuming you both help the other two, you two can make
Yes, we will.
saves
Okay,
at
fine.
advantage.
Wait, we're gonna make. They make it or we make it.
You make it.
You roll it. You can just do it at advantage
Can I-
because they're
Can I
helping.
do acrobatics instead?
No, because
You don't need it.
not about weaseling out. It's about
Wow.
tearing the kelp.
Hey,
But
Greg, I think we're running the same computer because we got the same deck save, the same athletics, and then the same
True.
athletics
That's
again.
true. Except that I have a 0.
well, you both succeed with the help of your friends in tearing this kelp off, and you are able to continue on without losing too much time. Cool. Wow. Good for her. So you swim down, and what you see as you're swimming through this long kind of tunnel cave system, Adis, eventually you come to a fork in the road where like it leads off in one direction, but your spell is pulling you in another direction. And it looks
Wait.
like it's hidden behind another wall of kelp.
I'm against that wall of kelp. I'm going to take out my God. What kind of sword do I have? Scimitar. That's what
Okay.
it is. Just like start cutting at it.
Okay, go ahead, make an attack roll against the kelp.
Yes.
At disadvantage,
No.
because you're underwater. And using a
It's
slashing
kelp.
weapon.
I
Yeah,
feel like that should
it-
give me
it-
a bonus for slashing.
It's hard to like get a wind up when you're trying to move through water with a slashing weapon.
22, 11.
With an 11, you manage to get the blade caught in the kelp.
I'm just gonna open a portal on this kelp.
It doesn't get caught necessarily, but it like gets wrapped around and you're able to pull it out again. But
Defect. Can you cut this kelp?
if you want to, it will be at disadvantage.
Is
Or
there
you,
such thing as recklessly attacking kelp?
if he wants to, he can rage and do that.
Mike?
Sorry.
Oh. It's like,
There's just this wall of kelp in front of you. You can all just swim through it. You'll just need another dex save.
But I can't cut through it, right?
You can try.
Let me
Yeah.
try.
You have disadvantage on the attack.
All right. 13.
You do not manage to cut a significant portion of the kelp away.
Wow, that's some tough kelp. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, it survives at the bottom in this crazy crag thing. Like it is.
I mean, I just don't know how it's growing in this pitch dark, but
It's
Magic.
seaweed. I swim through.
Great, make
Yeah,
a
I
deck
guess.
save.
Boom.
No problem for Greg. They
Before
wriggle
I
right
thought
on
it was
through.
something else. It freaked me out a little.
Greg can do it. So
There
can
we
I.
go.
Adis swims right
no.
through, no problem.
13.
Defect gets caught. Spoot.
Oh, deck save. Yes, sorry.
Give me a Greg assist.
Yeah. Spoot swims through, no problem, with a 17.
I go help defect.
yeah.
Actually, someone slower should help defect.
I will help defect.
Yeah, so Defect, go ahead and make an athletics check at advantage to try to tear out of this kelp.
24.
Yeah, no problem. You bust
You're doing
out of the
this on
kelp.
purpose. You just want to get, yeah. You just want someone to help you.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
What's unfortunate?
Oh, nothing. Don't you worry about it.
Captain's dead. We're gonna kill Squid. I don't know.
Captain was dead all along. Doing this
It
for
was just
glory
It was just a puppet.
Schrodinger's
and for
captain.
mystery.
Schrodinger's captain. Not that.
Wonderful. So you all have busted through a
Guys, we defeated Kelp. We did it.
Indeed, you did. You've busted through kelp, and you find yourselves in a more of a like traditional cave as opposed to a like an access tunnel, I guess. But yeah, you have seemingly made your way to this den, this lair, and Adis, you can sense that the creature is in this direction because of your Hunter's Mark spell, which is good.
I'm useful for things.
Yeah, you are.
Please, you do like all of this
It's
by
just
yourself.
broken.
I should have chosen it.
Listen, Rangers can be great sometimes. I just cannot compare to like a wizard or a bard or a sorcerer. It's gonna like kind of point in the direction that it is and just be like, it's just beyond there, I think.
Yeah, so let me bring you to where you are on the map.
Fishy bones.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
is this Ariel's grotto?
as you can all see, there are plants and things down here. There's fish bones. Spoot, you are emitting light at the
I was about to
moment.
say, when you say "can all see,"
Yes, so it's 20 and 20. Is that what it is?
yes, 20 bright, 20 dim, or 20 normal, 20 dim. Let me look.
Great.
Yeah, bright and 20, bright and dim, 2020.
Great. You should be all good to go now.
Awesome.
So yeah. And Adis, you sense the creature in kind of a thisly direction.
Hold on. Okay. I'll just kind of I want to cast Pass Without a Trace, but then I lose Hunter's Mark.
That's okay.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll just keep swimming and kind of like point around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that way.
Yeah. And you get more in a thisly direction.
Is there anything like, can I just like percept this area and just like see if there's
Yeah, go for it.
like, I don't know. It's just like anything else down here.
Yeah, you can.
Cause suspicious underwater cavern. 28.
The kelp is alive.
I
Alright,
know it.
cool.
It's a roper kelp or awakened kelp.
So, real quick, you definitely see a few things. What you see, beyond all like the bones and whatever that live down here, or that live down here, that are down here, you definitely see what is like a signs of passage and like discarded bits of debris, and they don't all appear like tentacle based. Some of them appear more like claw marks, and I would say that you see on one of the walls some scratches that appear to be purposeful.
Wait, what appears to be purposeful? The scratches?
Mm-hmm. Like there was intent behind them.
Can I look at the scratches to see if they're like territorial markings?
Yeah, absolutely.
With that investigation?
Yep. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah, 13.
So they appear to be in some kind of a familiar. They're familiar language or runes or something. Let me just check something. Yeah, actually, they are totally in runes that, because you speak primordial, you can make out the meaning of.
Okay.
And what they say is along the lines of keep up the good work, keep the ships out.
Oh. Interesting. I will relay that to the group.
How?
Adis can actually make himself understood in this.
With the because I drank the potion, I'm the only one that can speak right now.
Oh, so we can understand. We just can't reply.
Actually,
You cannot reply to this message.
Actually, that's not true. The potion of water breathing doesn't grant you the ability to speak. That would be a spell like underwater breathing would do that.
I thought the potion was basically the spell.
It's a little different because it's a consumable uncommon item.
Got you. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
So
you can point at it.
Interpretive dance.
I'll point at it and like kind of like make a boat, or like try to make a boat, and then like like what is it, like when you're running your hand like towards your neck, kind of like when you're trying to close your tab and you're trying to communicate with the bartender, you're just like
yeah,
we're done.
You wave him down.
Yeah.
Spoot, looking at the scratches that Adis has pointed at, you can read them right away. They're Aquan.
Mm-hmm. Do you mind if I put that down in my notes exactly what they say? Meaning,
yeah.
Can I have you repeat that?
Yeah. It says you can actually get a little bit more because you actually know Aquan itself.
I do this to Adis.
An underwater raspberry. You lose 5 minutes of breathing.
It also sounds like Aquan.
I give him an extended underwater raspberry and don't lose any breathing.
That's true. So what it says in its entirety is, you're doing well. Glad we brought you here. Keep up the good work.
Okay. Spook will have a very perplexed look on his face. In reference to that, I have no way of communicating to anyone. So I'm going to look to Adis.
Playing charades with myself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Greg and Defect, you are just watching these two look at scratches on a wall.
I'm going to like look back at them and give them kind of a face of like, I don't know what that means, and I don't know if it's good. It's not good.
It looks like scratches to me. I don't know.
I'll just like keep pointing towards like this thing that kind of looks like stairs.
Yeah, it's just kind of raised areas of the floor.
Oh, not this. Fuck this kelp.
Yeah, you swim up and you see another wall of kelp.
I'm just gonna turn around and start leaving.
Yeah.
I give up.
Wow.
Gonna go in.
What defeated you, kelp?
Okay, so you all attempt to swim through. Grig and
Oh my god. Here's again.
Defect get caught. Spoot, go ahead, roll a dex save.
I can't give myself guidance on saving throws, can I?
No, unfortunately. But you
It's
don't need
okay.
one. You
I don't know
swim
what's
on right
happening.
through.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, so you and Adis swim right through the kelp. And Greg and Defect kind of get caught up in it. And Spoot and Adis, as you two swim through, you emerge and you see some familiar forms in front of you. You see 3 giant octopi, as though they were nesting here, and they kind of begin to rise up. Lucky for you, you followed right after. Didn't give them a chance to get a short rest in. So you see these octopi rise up, and Greg and Defect are caught and lodged in this kelp and stuck. And we're going to pick up here next week at the start of initiative.
Do we see the octopi also? Because I imagine that I'm making noises.
I will say, yeah, you like swam through and got caught, so you can see the octopi there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I imagine just hearing like Greg screaming bubbles.
Yeah.
Yes, for just so you have a little bit of a viewpoint here, I will move you.
Oh, not this. I don't like this. I'm just gonna portal and leave.
Yeah.
Oh, hush.
So you see 3 octopuses have risen up and are swimming towards you, and you also see the creature in the corner.
Creature from the depths.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, what was that one movie? 20 Leagues Under the Sea or something like that. What was it?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
A few more leagues, just a few.
Yep. Yeah, it's a classic. Jules Verne. Gotta love it. But yeah, we'll pick up there next week with our friendly friends Greg and Defect restrained by this kelp here.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. But yeah, it'll be great.
How much time has passed?
It probably took you about another 10 minutes, so probably half your time. For those of you who are worried about an hour.
Yeah. And any air bubbles above us? Chance?
You can try to find out. I mean, there was
that
other passageway that you don't know where it goes. It's well, you swam down, and that took you about 20 minutes to get to the first wall of kelp.
Uh-huh.
And then to get through here, was probably another 10 minutes, so it's been about 30 minutes.
Cool.
Good thing you brought some extra potions.
Glad I hoarded all the extra potions.
And we'll have to see if and how the captain's doing when that happens.
Oh.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Zekril, for the resubscribe. You're awesome, buddy. Thank you, I've Got It, for being here in chat. Thank you, Carolee the Druid, for watching, even though you can't be here in person, Sarah. Appreciate that you can tune in. Thank you all very much. We're going to do some quick goodbyes and do a little raid. Zekril, I've Got It. You two are beautiful, sweet humans. Thanks for the compliments and the praise. Much appreciated. So we're going to say some goodbyes, and then I'll figure out who we're going to raid tonight. Let's start in this corner over here with Spoot. Plug anything you want to plug, whatever.
I've got nothing. Other than the usual. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, tune in next week. And hopefully we get out of here with the captain.
Or the captain's dead body.
At least the captain's body. I can do something with that.
All right, and moving on down to Adis.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week. I got nothing else.
All right, Greg.
That's me. Thanks, I'm Amber. I play Grieg. And, I actually played Tales of Far Hollow. And Matt's high score is 219. And my high score is 218. And mine is 171. And it is both infuriating and soothing and silly and easy, but not easy. It's pretty simple to learn, but it's also really hard to learn. I don't know how to describe it aside from it's $2. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
You're going to be strangely addicted. I played it for 2 hours straight.
Yes. Ditto. Can confirm. Yeah, it is very
It's
kind
a
of
good
frustratingly
time.
difficult at times, but also also easy, and a lot is just left up to chance, so you could just keep replaying when you die. So.
Yeah.
Wait, it's 2 hours straight an addiction point because
That's impressive for me for a game.
Yeah, I mean
it's more. I was like,
It's
oh,
relative.
here, I'll give it a shot, and then I just couldn't stop.
I was gonna say
same.
because those are baby numbers compared to mine.
Well,
I got my $2 and more worth, definitely, and it is quite humorous. I enjoyed the writing. If you've got a silly sense of humor, as apparently we all do here on Nuuli Forged.
Yeah, it's if you're as old as we are on the inside.
Wondrous.
Yeah, that's my plug.
So that's the high score to beat. That's my plug.
Yeah, 218. Beat it.
All right, Defect.
My high score is 320. They don't know this.
What?
No, I'm kidding. Never play the game, but I'll check it out. But for everyone else, thanks for watching. See you guys next week.
And I have been Jared. Thank you all for joining us once again. You can follow us on all the social medias. Well, not the TikToks, but on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, and the YouTube, all at Nuuli Forged. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Please do a like and a subscribe on the channel, because I'm told those are helpful things to say to people. So, huzzah.
Do it.
You can catch Matt and I on our podcast, Mid-Level Adventurers. If you want some D&D info type stuff, it's a good time. We also talk about what we're drinking. So there's something for everybody. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. Thank you for being here. We're going to raid Lost Initiative, and we will see you all next week, right here at 7 p.m. on Nuuli Forged. Goodbye, everyone.
Toodles.
Bye.